The calendar rolls on, summer approaching now, the high part of summer for most of the upper Midwest and Great Plains. This is on average the warmest time of the year. As we get to late July and the first part of August, called the dog days, for a different reason. Doesn't have anything to do with dogs, has to do with the star Sirius being visible in the southern sky this time of year early in the morning. Pattern is about the same, hot and dry in the western part of the plains and generally with some spotty, heavier thunderstorms. Some areas have had some pretty heavy rain from time to time over the last week, but the drought monitor indicates much of western North Dakota and eastern Montana is still extremely dry. Things are a little better in the Red River Valley, although there are certainly some dry pockets. Same thing with South Dakota. The west is just scorched. The eastern part of South Dakota, it's a little better. And there are some dry pockets now beginning to show up through Iowa, although overall Iowa is still one good heavy 2-inch rain away from having plenty of moisture around. The weather pattern for the time being, this ridge of high pressure over the Rocky Mountains continues. The trough of low pressure continues coming down from Hudson Bay, which gives us northwesterly winds a lot of the time, which means that the weather pattern has been fairly hot in the west, not as hot over in the eastern edge of the Corn Belt, and in between this jet stream will occasionally deliver a thunderstorm through the northern plains, but the end results have been not that impressive rain-wise. Southeastern states this week will simply not be that hot. The hot weather will be in the Rocky Mountains, occasionally pointing out into the Great Plains, and there will be some days, I think, toward the end of the week that get pretty hot in the northern plains. Also, I'm expecting at least one chance of thunderstorms to pass through the northern plains region, but overall, just spotty thunderstorms in the Rocky Mountains and down in the southeast where we're starting to get into the tropical hurricane season, and the moisture levels down here are so high. The stormy weather pattern, where it rains, it may rain a lot, but it's going to be fairly spotty, certainly this week. With the jet stream kind of still in the same shape for next week, which would be July 30th to August 5th, even a bit of a building up ridge, there's going to be probably more areas that get drier then get wetter, but there will be the occasional passing storm complex through the plains, and any of which will result in the possibility of locally substantial rainfall, but probably not overall widespread substantial rainfall. The hot weather will get beaten back from time to time, or it goes back to the west. Not much relief from the heat in the west. There may be a temporary trough carving out a little further south into the Middle West, maybe some late summer cool weather for the eastern part of the Corn Belt, but overall, it's looking about the same. The dog days will mean extremely hot weather in the high plains, Montana, western North Dakota, western South Dakota, western Nebraska, places like that, and just probably more typical summer temperatures from Iowa eastward. Rainfall, you got to get under the right cloud.